The Doll's Curse, Part 2. The events surrounding the doll had left Alex and his family on edge. But they were about to discover that the nightmare was far from over. After weeks of eerie happenings, Alex couldn't shake the feeling that something far darker was pulling the strings. His younger sister Lily had stopped playing with the doll, but the sinister presence seemed to have a life of its own. It was a stormy evening when everything took a more terrifying turn. The wind howled outside, rattling the windows as Alex sat in the living room, trying to focus on his homework. The flickering lights and the occasional power surge were nothing new by now. But when the lights went out completely, Alex's heart skipped a beat. In the dark, he heard a faint creaking sound. Then came the unmistakable shuffle of footsteps. Alex froze. Not again. He grabbed his flashlight and slowly crept towards the source of the noise. The hallway. The flashlight beam illuminated the dark space ahead of him, but the hallway appeared empty. That's when the beam caught something out of place. The doll. It was standing in the middle of the hallway, facing him. Its porcelain face was cracked, and its once bright eyes now seemed to gleam with an unnatural light. Alex's blood ran cold. The doll hadn't been there before, and Lily had locked it away in her room. Before he could move, the doll tilted its head, and the temperature in the house seemed to drop drastically. He could see his breath in the air, and the unmistakable sound of a voice, barely a whisper, filled the silence. "Come closer, Alex." Alex staggered backward, knocking over a vase in the process. The doll's eyes never left him. His heart raced. "Lily?" he called out, his voice shaking. No response. With every nerve screaming at him to run, Alex could hear the slow, deliberate footsteps approaching from behind him. He spun around, but there was no one there. This isn't just the doll. His thoughts were interrupted by a sudden crash from upstairs. Alex dashed to the staircase and found Lily's door ajar. He rushed inside to find the room in complete disarray, the walls covered in strange symbols drawn in red chalk. The doll was on the floor, face up, its limbs twisted at unnatural angles. But that wasn't the worst part. The real horror was the shadowy figure standing in the corner of the room. It was tall and gaunt, its features obscured by the darkness. It didn't move. It didn't need to. "Alex!" came a voice, raspy and low. "You should have listened." Alex's blood ran cold as the figure stepped closer, its presence overwhelming. The figure reached for the doll and placed it gently in Lily's hands. The moment it made contact, Lily's eyes snapped open, but they were no longer hers. They glowed with a sinister red hue. "It's time, Alex," the figure said, grinning from ear to ear. What had begun as a strange gift was now a curse that bound them all. But what was the figure? And what had the doll really brought with it? Alex needed answers, and he needed them fast, because whatever this was, it was only just getting started. The family was no longer just haunted. They were marked. But what should Alex do next? Option 1. Alex could try to confront the figure, demanding it explain everything. It's a risky move, but maybe facing it head-on is the only way to break the curse. Option 2. Alex could try to destroy the doll, hoping that destroying the source of the evil would stop the sinister forces at work. But would the curse be too powerful to break? Option 3. Alex could look for help outside the house, seek out an expert on the supernatural. But would anyone believe him? And would they even make it in time? What do you think Alex should do? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Should he confront the figure, destroy the doll, or reach out for help? The clock is ticking, and the curse is tightening its grip. Your choice could change everything. Stay tuned for part 3.